My name is Elizabeth Davis, and my informative speech is over the parallels between the foundations of Planned Parenthood and the agenda of the Nazi Party. Planned Parenthood provides people with items such as birth control and other contraceptives, as well as making procedures such as abortions more available. During the time of the foundation of Planned Parenthood, there was a huge feminist movement. One of the forerunners of this movement was a woman by the name of Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger encouraged and promoted the acceptance of homosexuality, birth control, and women being in control of their own bodies. Sanger is quoted as saying, "No woman can call herself free who does not own and control her own body. No woman can call herself free who does not consciously choose whether she will or will not become a mother." Sanger was one of the leaders in the foundation of Planned Parenthood, and though her ideas were progressive and revolutionary, they have a much darker side. Sanger is also quoted as saying, "The most merciful thing that a family can do for one of its infant members is kill it." Upon the foundation of Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger began to distribute birth control to poor, impoverished communities with a high immigrant population. Margaret Sanger also encouraged these people to abort children that she did not consider them ready for. Margaret Sanger was also a supporter of eugenics, which is the science of improving a population by selective breeding to increase the occurrence of desirable inheritable characteristics, as well as the sterilization of people who possessed genetic traits that would seem to be undesirable to society. This included the sterilization of people who were in psychiatric care, which was a procedure carried out by many asylums. Sanger's goal was to create a cleaner society. Sanger's way of cleaning up the population included providing birth control and abortions in slums and minorities, her way of selective breeding, as well as sterilization of impaired people. Margaret Sanger spoke at a rally of the Ku Klux Klan and attempted to recruit African American ministers to go into African American communities and encourage them not to reproduce. Later in our world's history, a man named Adolf Hitler came to power in Germany and ultimately caused the mass murder of thousands of minorities in his country. Adolf Hitler has been demonized by the American people, and rightfully so, but we cannot hate him for his views and actions without exploring the parallels between the Nazi agenda and one of our own, Margaret Sanger. Adolf Hitler is quoted as saying, "Humanitarianism is the expression of stupidity and cowardice." Adolf Hitler's final solution was a deplorable thought that killed thousands of people. In February of 1920, the Nazi Party met and outlined the party's political agenda. The party presented a 25-point plan to create racial purity in Germany. The plan also calls for Germans to come to power over the races that they consider inferior. An example of their 25-point plan is point number 4, which states that no Jew may become a member of the nation. By 1933, Adolf Hitler had passed a law to prevent hereditarily diseased offspring. Among other things, the law prohibited undesirables from having children. The law also allowed for the forced sterilization of select mentally and physically impaired individuals. The law affected approximately 400,000 people over the next 18 months. Though Margaret Sanger did not result to genocide or cause the deaths of thousands of innocent people, there are parallels between Sanger's ideas and the ideas of the Nazi Party. I've created a Venn diagram to illustrate some of these parallels. In fact, the ideas of these people were so similar that Adolf Hitler had his advisors study the ideas of Margaret Sanger, and some of her actions were actually imitated during the beginning of the Holocaust. After all, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. It is important to study the parallels between things that we consider so wholesome and good and helpful as Planned Parenthood and things as deplorable as the Holocaust so that history does not repeat itself. Everyone should be aware of the things that they stand for and their history.